Hello everybody, Nicholas Hamblin here. I found this documentation through a buddy's channel, Matrix Adjusted 4.0. Great job in this find. There's an information book on electronic harassment. I will leave a link down in the description, but for now I thought I'd go over it with you. They use a gyrotron resonance maser, a machine that talks to the brain. Then there's the Prima scanner, a personal radio and electromagnetic frequency allocation. It identifies the unique frequency of a brain. Troposcatter, microwave transmitters sold to Iraq for communications, are the same technical genius as the gyrotron resonance maser, a machine that talks to the brain. Operation mode of the gyrotron resonance maser surrounds the body by an EM flux, beams into the body a microwave communication field. Laser reads the changes in electrons after passing through the body, and then a computerized scan, a remote CAT scan of sorts, the frequencies of the brain. This is accomplished with a Prima scanner, where Prima stands for Personal Radio and Electromagnetic Frequency Allocation. A Prima scanner identifies the frequency that is unique to a person's brain. This frequency is termed freak. Once the freak is determined, the mind of the person becomes a controllable link in the cybernetic network. This link to the book I recommend following. I will leave a link to this video so you can follow that and add the links in the bottom. It is a good read. It goes into a lot of more in-depth information. This will be more of an overview of what is happening. The book is called Telemetric Mind Control and is a exhaustive reference. Electromagnetic harassment by identifying the bioelectric resonance specific to each individual and by using advanced resonance masers. The task of reading and changing the minds of hundreds of thousands of people under electronic surveillance by the CIA or NSA or even the police in most industrialized countries in recent years, using a simple set of antennas or satellite has become routine, even if this is necessary to identify the biometric resonance proper to each individual, as if it were a brain fingerprint. 20 years ago, to do this, an officer had to use a briefcase and get within 2 meters of the target to be able to detect the desired resonant frequency. Many hospitals today provide this information to the police in the utmost secrecy. Otherwise, a simple modified mobile phone can record this information by positioning it near a target in question. It is also possible to achieve similar results even without implants or transducers using an advanced resonance maser, such as the Marconi-Thompson CSF troposcatter. Designed during the presidency of Ronald Reagan, this device, the size of a gas cylinder placed in a van or in a neighboring apartment, it is possible to reach the body of a target and make it penetrate an electromagnetic flux, which transmits coded information, Fourier transform, by microwaves, while a laser, which works like a CD, decodes the modifications of the electrons which cross the body by synchronizing it with a CT scan, capable of deciphering the frequencies of the brain. This kind of Orwellian device works on the basis of pulsed power. It was also used by the forces of Spetsnaz in the last years of the Soviet regime. Compliant to the FBI of satellite surveillance and remote neural monitoring by U.S. Army veteran. This individual had a background in communication and encryption. Citing a laser three-dimensional body analyzer scanning unit, which is patent number US 5531520 alpha. This is by Scotty Limbaugh. The complaint is posted as a comment on a YouTube video of Martin Bott and is copied now. Approximate publication date is YouTube 1 year ago. I believe this was dated February 1, 2017. Attention, James Comey. I have this equipment in my possession, and I have contacted the DoD and the FBI, and they have yet to pick it up. If some of your cooperation like to pick it up, if some of your corporation would like to pick it up, I'm sure you could reverse engineer it and use it for something other than what Task Inc. is using it for. See my letter below to the FBI and the DoD. You can contact me for further details on neuromorphic aspects of these devices. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is real-life situation the public needs to know. Please review my letter to the FBI and the DoD regarding a current active shooter campaign being conducted by DoD contractor Task Inc. It is also how the Arian Alexei's Washington Navy Yard shooter was driven to commit his crimes. See letter. Important information on the active shooter campaign using satellite technology and nanotechnology currently taking place. See my letter to the DoD and the FBI Tampa field office below. Department of Defense contractor Task Inc. Parent company Engleatly? Goodness. Is currently geospatial intelligence equipment with satellite-driven nanotechnology for terroristic threats and illegal 24-hour surveillance in Orlando, Florida, at my business and private residence. I would like to bring this to your attention and have some form of the FBI or DoD pick up this equipment that is in my possession. I am reporting a severe abuse of nanotechnology, and this is a copy of my letter to the DoD from August regarding this geospatial surveillance nanotechnology being misused on me since March of 2015. I am currently under satellite surveillance by TASC Inc. This was started by Task Inc. employee Michael Herrera, top secret security clearance, in October when he brought the device to Orlando while visiting his daughter. He is father of my former girlfriend, Veronica Klein. He stayed at the Castle Hotel on the International Drive and left the piece of the nanotechnology in Orlando for surveillance purposes at that time. The surveillance is taking place at my home address of 1650 North Mills Avenue, number 160, Orlando, Florida, 32803. Coordinates, blah, blah, blah. The satellite transmission and surveillance is still active 24 hours a day at the same coordinates and can be easily detected and traced. 3 methods of detection are satellite signal detection. Signal being used is an X-band pulse signal. Electromagnetic field detection, used in combination with the nanotechnology and can be measured anywhere I am located. The microtesla unit range from 1200 to 7500 microtesla units. Frequency detection, rapid frequency fluctuations are used to evade detection in the ranges from 20 to 20,000 hertz for inter-ear harassment communication. I am a U.S. Army veteran with a background in communication and encryption, which helped me discover and locate these devices. This surveillance is in the form of a satellite-driven X-band pulse frequency and nano-drone technology program. I have contacted the FBI via the phone and online complaint forms, CIA, federal judges, Task Inc., and multiple other agencies. My attorney has called Task Inc. and the Secretary of State. The Secretary stated that Michael Herrera does no longer work there and left in March as part of a cover-up for the surveillance campaign that is still taking place. We also contacted Anthony Smiragolino, CEO of TASC Incorporated, via telephone and U.S. mail with no response. This torture, harassment, and interrogation-style surveillance continues day in and day out, 24 hours a day, with inter-ear pulse communication and daily death threats. Here is a complete description of the equipment and the method being used. A 2-millimeter sphere. This sphere is omnidirectional and is remotely controlled via satellite. I have determined that the satellite system being used may be C4ISR. Light-bending technology enables the nanodrones with a cloaking effect and makes the sphere unrecognizable, or what the non-scientific mind would call invisible. It can only be noticed by the naked eye if it is a trained eye. Nano Camera. This camera is equipped for surveillance purposes with which transmits real-time back to Task Inc. Geospatial operators. Electromagnetic wave field. The nano drones mark a target for focused satellite-generated electromagnetic wave fields. The nano drones send pulse for communication purposes or inner ear harassment. These units can be put together in multiples and work in unison to create a more intense and focused wave for harassment and sleep deprivation. The electromagnetic field also can create a field much like a MRI or geospatial data and intelligence gathering from the human mind and body. This is exactly what is used in Guantanamo Bay for interrogations. Three-dimensional body data analyzer. This equipment is used for the body scans in three-dimensional format, including scans of the human brain. Their capabilities of the specific piece of technology has much greater capabilities that include full readings of vital signs and real-time information on brain activity. Patent number US 5531520 Alpha, Task Inc. Frequency range. Using a satellite X-band, this company uses continuous wave and pulsed wave frequencies. The method used is the left ear and right ear have two different frequencies. In the left ear, the range of pulses, there are words, sentences designed to interrupt normal brain activity. The right ear has words and sentences that are a level that can only be detected with earplugs at a much lower frequency level. The technique is most often with the lower tone mentioning something just at the audible level, and then the left ear has another message at a higher frequency that is much more distinguishable. Neuromorphic engineering, computing. I can provide a full description of how Task Inc. is using neuromorphic computing, which is used in tandem with these devices and their satellites when the devices are picked up. I can provide a full explanation of the method used to extract metadata from the individuals via satellite and how it is being used on U.S. soil outside the parameters of its intended purpose. This is exact activity reported by Aaron Alexis prior to his Washington Navy Yard shooting. His heinous crimes were committed at his former workplace, Washington Navy Yard Building 197, Task Inc., was also one of the contractors in the building. I suspect this nanotechnology was used to harass him in order to drive him to commit crimes. It is my assumption that they may be using this technology to create domestic terror events for profit. Engility Inc. was also ordered by the courts to pay out over $5 million for the mistreatment of prisoners at Abu Ghraib in January of 2013. The company has a history of employing unethical intelligence personnel. In this case, they have used the equipment as personnel as a personal favor for Michael Harrar to harass me and attempt to cause me financial and personal harm. The operators on their geospatial nano drones and neuromorphic computing program are nothing more than loose cannons. Domestic terrorists with a top secret security clearance. I have information and evidence recorded, and documentation, including MRI evidence, to bring to this corrupt DoD contractor to justice for using this equipment on private citizens on U.S. soil. I would like to have this active satellite signal confirmed and have the devices picked up. You have my full permission to investigate this matter, including conducting surveillance and measuring signals in EMF fields anywhere I am located. Here is my address and coordinates to verify the pickup of evidence of the devices. And it goes on and on. These devices are being used, and they have a significant effect on their victims. Here we have patent US 5531520 for matching of laser detection of the human body outline to an anatomical image. The skin surface is scanned by laser to obtain three-dimensional surface image data. The 3D surface image is associated to a 3D anatomy image corresponding to pre-recorded magnetic resonance imaging data or computed tomography. The computed tomography data for the patient. Surface image data and anatomy image data are combined to produce a matched image data set in which the first coordinate frame is relatively aligned with said second coordinate frame. A real-time image of the patient's body or predetermined proportion of the body is generated relative to a third coordinate frame. An output image corresponding to a combination of matched image data set and real-time image is produced. This is absolutely terrifying. So here is basically the mock-up for remote torture. With masers and lasers. Remote neural monitoring satellite systems do pins to our unique radio frequency. Every human being gives off their own bioelectric magnetic resonance frequency, which corresponds with their biometric ID, a fingerprint, if you will, that identifies and distinguishes each individual, almost like a unique radio frequency that they can tune into. Electromagnetic frequencies and extra-low frequencies are sent to the brain from these satellite systems to trigger what is called an evoked potential within the brain of the targeted person, an electric and magnetic reaction in the human mind that creates a spike in brainwave activity and an interference wave pattern in relation to the transmitted EMF and ELF from the satellite system that can be mapped out and deciphered. Electromagnetic signals of different frequencies are simultaneously transmitted to the brain of the subject in which the signals interfere with one another to yield a waveform which is modulated by the subject's brainwaves. Remote neural monitoring is a crime against humanity. Remote torture is satanic in every way. This needs to stop. These terrorists need to be brought to justice. The best we can do is educate ourselves and those around us to this crime so that it's no longer a theory and that everybody with no doubt in their mind see the conspiracy to commit murder and deprive innocent citizens, American citizens, of their life, liberty, and their pursuit of happiness. God bless America. Have a good day, everybody.